What does a person truly need in life to survive? I've always been told that all a person needs is food, water, and shelter. Shelter? I'm pretty sure there's a lot of people out there who are living with little to no shelter. And food? It seems like something that you couldn't possibly survive without. But then again, there's a lot of people out there getting by on a handful of food a day. Realistically, it's been shown that you can live up to a few weeks without any food at all. Which leaves us with this: water. Some studies I've read say that a person of reasonable health in a hot climate can die as quickly as a couple of days without water, even less for elderly or small children. Yet, when I look at this glass of water, I don't feel like I'm holding a prized possession, a life maintaining source. It's water. It rarely gets any thought at all from me. You know, it was just a couple of years ago in our area that everyone went into a panic over water. The drought had drawn on and on week after week, and everywhere you looked we saw pictures of lakes and ponds as they dropped lower and lower. So much was made over how we were going to conserve enough water for everyone, and it eventually led to all the water restrictions they placed on us. Yet, how many times did you turn on the faucet in your house and nothing came out? Did you ever think to yourself, okay, I hope something comes out when I turn this on? Yeah, me neither. I continued to go through my days unchanged, leaving the water running while I brushed my teeth, while I shaved, while I washed off a few utensils here and there in the kitchen sink. Shoot, I still let my shower water get hot before I get in the morning. So, what would it really take to change my view on water? I'm a numbers kind of guy, so I went looking for numbers. Turns out there's estimates that 1 billion people in this world lack fresh water. That's not just going without water, but also people suffering because the water they drink is so contaminated that it's slowly killing them. Close to 4 million people die each year from water related diseases. Over a quarter of that are children. That's around 4,000 kids dead every day, all due to a lack of clean water. Okay, even for a numbers guy, 4 million is a hard number to wrap your head around. That's more lives lost in a year than all the world's hurricanes, earthquakes, tsunamis, and floods combined. Or think of it this way: if you were to look at the U.S. over a 5 year window, with 4 million people dying every year, it would be like the entire population of Kentucky dying in 2008, everyone in both Mississippi and Montana passing in 2009. The state of Oregon lost this past year. Both Arkansas and Maine empty by the end of this year, and North Dakota, South Dakota, and Nebraska all wiped out by the end of next year. That's 9 states totaling 20 million people gone in just 5 years. But even if it were just 40 people a day, it's still people. It's families, husbands and wives, parents, little children. For me, I freak out when my daughter gets into the dog's water bowl. Yet I look at the pictures of the water supplies people out there are really using, and I think to myself, there's no way I could bathe my daughter in that, let alone make her drink that. I wouldn't let my dog drink that. So, where am I going with all this? Next May, a group of us will be taking a trip to try to chip away at that 4 million. Living Water International is an organization that goes into villages and towns where the people have dirty, contaminated, or even no water supply, and digs fresh water wells to supply the people with as much water as they need. Fresh water for people like this little girl whose village was given a fresh water well, a child who now won't be in that 4,000 number. We'll also work to teach people how to use and conserve clean water. We'll do all of this while sharing God's love and telling them about our source of water that will leave them thirsty no more. We will be traveling to Honduras on our trip to dig and install a new well pump for a town with hazardous water supply. I wanted to share all this with you to give you an opportunity to support this effort. This trip will cost money for our team to make it happen, and any financial support you could give will go a long way toward helping us cut down that 4 million number. This trip, as well as many after ours, will also take a lot of prayer. Yes, I realize that's the churchy thing to say, to lobby for prayer as an afterthought when asking for financial support. But it's not an afterthought for us. In a crunch, we can do what we need to in order to raise the money. But we have nothing in our own abilities or powers to make this trip a success outside of God's own hand working and blessing our efforts while we're there. We need you to pray that we be completely in tune to what He's trying to do through these trips, to not just meet a physical need of the people, but to meet their spiritual gap that they have as well. Pray that we set ourselves aside and are able to soak in all that He wants us to see and experience while we are there. And pray that we come back changed and are able to somehow share what we experience with everyone back here. Now, I'm not out on a crusade to get you to start taking cold showers or to not brush your teeth but every 3 days.
Please don't stop brushing your teeth.
But at least take the time to see what this organization is about and consider how you might can help. Go to the website and see what they do. Look at some of the stories and actual pictures of water sources people are using and see the people's faces after they suddenly have fresh water in their hands. If you decide you would like to help us on this journey, please feel free to contact me either by phone, by email, or through Facebook, and I'll give you more information. If you know of anyone else who might be interested in helping this cause, then please feel free to forward this video on to them. Thank you for taking the time to watch this.